Hey guys, just a little continuation on this Jeremy Dewitte thing and Stolen Valor, and it's it's always the math that gets these guys. 99.9% of the time, things don't add up the way they should. So I had a few people reach out to me from my previous video. Is it even plausible for him to have had a military career anywhere close to what he said? No, it's not. It doesn't add up. And I'm going to break it down exactly if he, in fact, did enlist in the Army at the age of 18, how things would have broken down and how it was just totally impossible for him to ever do. But first off, let's talk about his claims. Um, in 2019, during an interview, he stated that Metro State had been in business for 10 years. Um, so that right there kind of kills his military career. Uh, in one case, he stated he did 12 years. There was another instance where it was 14 years. So in 2019, if Metro State was in business, and I'm going to refer to my notes, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera, but in 2019, he made the statement that Metro State had been in business for 10 years. So that puts the company being formed back in 2009. All right. Now, we all know Jeremy's date of birth, February 1980, because it's on the Florida Sex Offenders Registry page. So if he had joined, and he's already claimed that he's been on airborne status since he was 18, that was in one of the other videos. And before I go any further, I need to give a really big shout out to Real Police and uh, Blue Bacon, because both of them have really been doing a lot on this Jeremy Dewitte. Blue Bacon actually interviewed him, even though Jeremy kind of dictated what lines of questioning. But regardless, so if he joined the Army in 1998 and did 12 years, that would bring you up to 2010 when he would have ETS'd or gotten out. If he did 14 years, of course, that brings you up to 2012. No possible way for him to start a business in 2009. If it was only 9 years, you're still on the cusp. I don't see how he could have worked that, even if he only did 12 years. So now let's kind of break down his actual, or let's break down how the military career would have come about. So at the age of 18 years old, Jeremy said he was airborne qualified. So I can only assume that he joined the Army in 1998. Shortly after his birthday, it would have to be. And let's see. So he he enlisted to go Ranger. All right. So that means he's going to Fort Benning. He's going through basic infantry school. Basic infantry school, let's see. So the basic and AIT for infantry is 14 weeks. Then you got basic airborne, which is another 3 weeks. And then he's got what they call RASP, which is the Ranger Assessment Selection Program. It used to be called RIP, now it's called RASP. Now, a lot of people get a little confused about guys in Ranger Battalion. Oh, they all have to go to Ranger School. Well, no, you don't. You go through the RASP. If you make it through RASP, then you go to one of the battalions. If you are below E5 and below, you do not have to go to Ranger School to go to Ranger Battalion and be a Ranger. You do have to go to Ranger School for promotions into leadership positions. That is a requirement of the Ranger Battalions. And this is all, I've just done a little bit of research on it. I was stationed at Hunter Army Airfield. They had a Ranger Battalion there. Got a little bit of, I had some friends that were in Ranger Battalion. So I kind of know what they do and what they did and just casual stuff. But by no means did I ever go to Ranger School or even want to go to Ranger School. Um, as far as the SF stuff, I've got a little bit of background because I lived at Fort Bragg. I was there for 5 years. Lived on a little cul-de-sac. Everybody on the cul-de-sac off base was military. I had some friends right next door to us. He was a staff sergeant in the Special Forces. I had another one that was a E7 in infantry, went to Delta selection and got selected. So he was 1st SF Operational Detachment Delta. We provided a lot of support for the SF guys. I knew a lot of them. I had an SF commo guy that used to keep his dirt bike at my house because we used to go out and ride dirt bikes together all the time. I got a little bit of information on that. By no means am I claiming I know anything about it other than, what I've been told and what I've been able to research. So, that being said, so he goes to basic AIT, 14 weeks, 3 weeks airborne. RASP is another 8 weeks. Then he goes off to one of the Ranger battalions. Ranger battalions deployed in 2001 to Afghanistan. The Ranger battalions have been in Afghanistan 365 days a year since the start, 2001 to the current date. There have been Rangers in Afghanistan. Jeremy never mentioned anything about Afghanistan, and most likely during his time in Ranger Battalion, if he was ever there, which we know he wasn't, he would have deployed to Afghanistan first. 2003, the Rangers participated in the invasion of Iraq. They had 2 combat jumps. Neither one was in Fallujah. So if Jeremy had gone to Iraq, he would have been there well into 2004 before they refratted, came back to the States. So that gives you he probably would have made it to Ranger Battalion sometime in 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. Most likely he would have been a Sergeant E5 or promotable to Sergeant E5. Went over to Iraq. I don't know how he would have missed Afghanistan. Came back. He would have been scheduled at some point to go to Ranger School. But, here's the thing. He says he was a major when he got out. Well, you got to have a 4-year degree to go to OCS, whether you're a civilian or you're prior military. 4-year degree. There's no way he had a degree before he went in the Army. And even with that time frame, going to night school or whatever he would do, it would be virtually impossible for him to come up with a 4-year degree in that time frame. Okay? Now, you got to remember back to early 2000s, online colleges weren't all that big yet. So, time's not working out here. And I'll explain more as we go along. So, he didn't say anything about going to OCS. Now, let's say by some miraculous thing he managed to come up with a 4-year degree. And say the end of 2004, he went to OCS. Upon completing OCS, he went to the SF qualification course at Fort Bragg. The basic qualification course, I think, is 14 weeks, and then you branch off into your specialty. Now, if he went there as an officer, he would have branched 18 Alpha, and that specialty course is most likely the top of the tier, probably 50 weeks, because there's a lot of stuff that SF officers have to go through. So, I mean, the other one is the medic course, which is really long. It's almost a year. And I would expect that the officers course is also going to be almost a year, just because they have to be able to cross-train into all of their team guys' positions. They have to know what their team guys are doing. So they get small portions of each one of those: commo, demolitions, the weapon sergeant, medic. So you're tacking another year on there. So the military also has minimum time in service, minimum time in grade in order to get promotions. So he would have to have hit every promotion and dead on the money, dead on the nuts every time. So for a major, you have to have minimum 10 years time service, 3 years time and grade as a captain. So we're looking at 2004. Oh, but wait, what happened in 2005? Well, let's take a look at this. Oh, look, his sexual offenders and predators page on the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Oh, there he is, Jeremy Charles Dewitte. He was adjudicated in July of 2005 for lewd, lascivious battery and sex with a victim 12 to 15 years of age. Wow. That really throws a wrench in things, because once he became a convicted felon, no more military service. You cannot have a gun. So right then and there, he's out the door. There's no way possible he ever could have been a major in the United States Army, SF, or anything else. There's just absolutely no way. Now, let's say this didn't happen. All right? So if this didn't happen, would it still be conceivable to be an SF major? Well, when you start breaking down the amount of time required to become a major, not to mention have that 4-year degree, go to OCS, do the almost year of SF qualification, we're probably looking 2006 by the time that's all completed, maybe early 2007. It's just, there's no possible way. He would have to go till, well, so he'd have 10 years time in service in 2008. He would be eligible for major. But yet, 2006, 2007, he would have been possibly out of OCS and in the Q course, which you don't get promoted there. So he probably would have made first lieutenant coming out of the Q course. He would have had to have made captain. There's a 3-year time and grade as a captain before you can become a major. You see how the math just doesn't add up? And this happens on 90% of your stolen valor thieves that are out there. The math never adds up. So, Jeremy's definitely not really good at math. And I just wanted to break this down because I was asked by several people. I got a few emails. Hey, is it even plausible that this could have happened? Well, no. There's just too many things that just you can't add them up and make it correct. There's no way possible. And not to mention the conviction in 2005 when he was adjudicated as a sexual offender and with those charges. So that's the breakdown on his supposed military career, or if his military career would even be possible. There's just no way all of that would add together and equal SF major at 14 years. Just no way. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I broke it down the best I can. I'm going to try and do some monthly Stolen Valor stuff to add to my motorcycle content. Also, if you guys could really take a look at my other video. I just posted one in the top 5 for the Dream Chopper giveaway. I'm competing in this, and if I win it, I will actually get a Orange County chopper, custom built chopper. And what I plan to do with that chopper is I'm going to take that chopper. It's going to be either auctioned or raffled off, and 100% of the proceeds that I get for that chopper is going to go to one of the many disabled veterans organizations that are out there. There's a bunch of them out there, and I haven't even got that far. I did make top 5 in my group. We're going into the top 1 of each group. Then it goes to a quarterfinal, semifinal, final, and they select the winner. So I'll put a link down in the description of a link that you can go and vote for me. You have to have a Facebook account. Go in there. You can vote daily. Oh, COVID. Just kidding. You can vote daily, and let's try and make that happen for disabled veterans, real disabled veterans. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.